Good morning. These cucumbers are a mess. Today I'm going to show you how we prune and grow cucumbers vertically in a Mittleider garden. Our tools for this job are actually pretty easy. We just need pruners, a pair of good sharp scissors will work if you don't have a set of pruners already, the Mittleider Gardening course book, and the page number for pruning cucumbers is 131. If you don't already have the book, you can get it off of growfood.com, and it is also available on Amazon. And you will need the twine, the baling twine, in which to train your cucumbers to grow vertically. This is important. The diameter of this twine is the deciding factor in the size of the twine that we're getting. This is a 170-pound twine. The weight, well, it helps, but the most important part is the diameter of the twine. If you go something that is too thin in diameter, when that plant starts to set a lot of fruit on it, it's going to get heavy. A thin twine will cut into the stem of that plant, girdle it, and kill it, and you will lose it. It is more difficult to find this baling twine rated at 170 pounds, but it's going to save your garden. They do make a sisal twine, which is a little more difficult to work with, but it is large enough in diameter and it's readily available at farm supply stores and is commonly used with small square bales. Now, I have already got this cucumber trained up, my twine here. I'm going to start with pruning on this one and show you how we go about doing this. In a Mittleider garden, we do it a little bit different, and we don't remove the sucker stem off of it entirely. And this guy right here is a sucker. This is the main stem. There's a leaf, there's flower here, and off of that main stem we have this sucker growing. But I want to show you what we've got out here. I have a cucumber. So when we prune cucumbers in a Mittleider garden, you don't remove the entire sucker. You come out to where the first fruit sets and you prune it there. You're going to get more cucumbers with a Mittleider garden. This cucumber has aborted because it did not get pollinated. That is part of the reason that we brought in the leafcutter bees to the greenhouse, and I'll put an iCard here for you to see if you're interested. Hopefully now that we've got these leaf cutters in here, that's going to stop. I'm going to show you two more of these suckers that we prune, and you should have it after that. Again, here is the main stem, leaf, flower, sucker coming off of it. We're going to follow the sucker down to the first fruit that we see. There's our cucumber, and there's a leaf. We want to leave that leaf on when we prune. So go past the fruit, go past the leaf, go past the fruit, go past the leaf, and remove your sucker. Here's another one. Main stem, flower, here's the leaf. Follow the sucker out. There's our Here's our cucumber. There's a leaf right here. We want to leave the two of those and prune. Now, here is a young sucker. This is what they're going to look like, and this is where most folks will do their pruning. They're going to go ahead and remove that sucker entirely. We don't want to do that. We're going to let this sucker grow. We're going to allow it to set a fruit. We're going to allow it to set another fruit, a leaf, and then we're going to prune it. So we're going to leave that sucker go. Now here is a little one that is just ready to prune. Here's the main stem. There's the flower. There's a leaf and the sucker. Follow the sucker up. We have a little teeny tiny cucumber here. There's another leaf. We want to leave the baby cucumber, we want to leave the leaf, and we want to prune the sucker. Just like that. So you've seen one that is too far gone, it should have been pruned a long time ago, and you've seen one that's just ready to be pruned. And that's how you do both. This first one is entirely pruned. It's easier to see. It's going to be easier for us to do an inspection. It's going to be easier to find our food, and it's going to be easier to provide the nutrients and also to water. Now it's time to start training these plants up the twine. And please let me say, I'm behind in my garden. Ideally, if you're a good Mittleider gardener, this would already be done. You would already have this twine up and able to train that cucumber up this twine as soon as it got tall enough to reach our twine. I'm behind out here. This is not how you do it. When you start, as soon as that plant comes in, you should be putting this twine up so it's already here, and you just need to start training the vine around your twine. Now, because I'm late doing this, I'm going to go ahead and get it trained up the twine, and then I'm going to do my pruning. I'm going to get it up off the ground. I'm going to get the plants separated from one another so that I can see them and know for sure what is a runner and what is the plant next to it. I'm going to get them up and get them separated. First, tie off your twine with a knot that you can easily remove. At the end of the year, when this plant is done producing or the frost hits it and it dies, it needs to come out of the garden. When it comes out, we're also going to take these twines out, and we can disinfect them with a little bit of chlorine water, rinse them off, and use them again for many years. You don't have to throw this stuff away and get new stuff every year. So you're going to tie it off, and you're going to lift the plant. Again, ideally, we wouldn't be doing it at this point. We would be able to train that plant up the twine as it grew. But I'm behind the curve here, so this is what we're going to do. Very important. When you're doing this, you have got to wrap the twine around the plant, not the plant around the twine. If you get in the habit of wrapping the plant around the twine, you're going to end up breaking the terminal bud, the growth tip, and you're going to kill off the growth of that plant. Just a quick tip, if you're beginning to grow your plants vertically and you're learning to put the twine, wrap the twine around the plant, always leave one sucker near the terminal bud, the growing tip of that plant. And the reason that you do that is so that if you break off this terminal bud, you can allow that sucker to become the new one. Okay, I've got this one started. Just don't wrap the twine too tight. Allow a little bit of room for the plant to grow larger in diameter so that it doesn't girdle the plant. If you wrap it tightly now at the base of the plant, as that plant expands, you will girdle it, you'll cut into the stem, and you'll kill it off. Wrap your twine around the plant. This is another reason why you don't wait as long as I do. It becomes more difficult to get it trained properly. Just like so. And now I'm going to take this twine and I'm going to secure it up in my A-frame, and then we can come back, give it a look-see, and do any pruning that needs to be done. In addition to pruning the suckers, after the plant is established and is growing up, any leaf that touches the soil is diseased or sick needs to come out of the garden. Insects are attracted to the weak, diseased, and dying leaves, so you want to get those out. Allowing that leaf to touch the soil is going to encourage disease, especially anything that is transmitted through the soil. It also gives insects easy access to the plant. So I've got about 3 leaves here that are touching the soil. I'm going to go ahead and prune those off. All of the cucumbers are now done. Got our twine up. Going to our A-frame up here. You can see how the twine separates them, gives them more room, more light. They're all pruned. Did I already say that? Possibly. Here comes the rain. And that's what they look like. This is the Mittleider way of pruning and growing cucumbers vertically. Thank you for watching our videos. If you're watching the gardening videos here on our YouTube channel, all of this is grown using the Mittleider Gardening Method. If you're interested in learning more about this method and how we're growing all of this wonderful food in our greenhouse, look for the Mittleider Gardening Method group on Facebook. When you go to join, it's going to ask you why you want to join. Tell them that Small Block Fuelie sent you, and they'll get you added in.